Here's a video for anybody who is particularly getting into cryptocurrency, and I would say the number one thing that you can do to make sure that you really understand what it is that's happening, and make sure that you have a real concept of what do things mean and what do things do, so that you can feel that you're educated enough that you can make really good decisions as far as using cryptocurrency or investing in it, or just getting involved. The number one thing I would say to anybody, whether you've been around it for a while or something that you're new to, is to learn exactly what words mean. And what I mean by that is that when you're getting involved with something that's so complex like cryptocurrency, you're actually going to be running into several different subjects. So you could run into cryptography, which is a subject. You can run it. You're dealing with mathematics, which is its own subject. You're dealing with computer science, computer language, which is its own subject. You're dealing with economics, which is definitely its own subject, and you're also getting into the subject of government and government philosophy. Also, just philosophy in general. So those are all dovetailing and coming together, and they're all independently complex subjects. And so where do you start? Well, you start by really just making a list of the basic, most fundamental definitions, and go ahead and look them up. Look them up several times. You can use just Google. You can use a dictionary. Whatever's most convenient. I think the internet dictionaries are very convenient and pretty accurate. Sometimes you have to look words up over and over again before they sort of become natural. This doesn't just apply to cryptocurrency, by the way. This applies to anything you want to learn. If you want to learn biology or chemistry or mathematics, if you want to learn how to play the guitar or how to do anything really, how to be an electrician, you can start by learning the terminology. Terminology is just the main words in the language that are used in a particular subject or study. And so the road to becoming an expert, or someone who's well informed on a subject, and someone who can make their own decisions on a subject and think about things for themselves and make their own best judgments, the way to learn in any of those subjects is to start with just all the key words of that subject. So you can literally just make a list of all the words that you've seen before. For example, if you're studying Bitcoin, you could make a list of, starting with the word Bitcoin. You could look up words like mining, decentralization, and really just go down the list and look all these words up. And eventually what will happen is you'll gain a concept of how these subjects actually work. So you'll feel more relaxed about going forward, and you'll have good judgment. You'll be able to fish around and to sort of discern hype from, solid fundamentals. Of course, hype is a big part of the promotion of cryptocurrencies, but it's definitely not everything, especially in the long term of things. There's really probably just a few cryptocurrencies that currently will end up being viable in the long run. So that's up to you to decide. And you can do that by slowly, one by one. When you see a word, you might see a word that is a big word in computer science, especially if you're starting to learn, how do these things work? How does a computer send information to another computer, or how do the systems go together? It just starts with one by one. You look up these words, and you could do it over and over and over again until you start to become really, really familiar with those words. Like I said, this applies to any subject, and you might be surprised how much smarter and more confident you feel going forward. So that's just one piece of very important advice that I think will bring a lot of clarity to you going forward. So good luck.